What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Rusher, and welcome back to another episode of Pixel Strike 3D In Depth. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the Vector, which was voted to be the next In Depth by more than half the people who voted. So, in the last video, I said I was going to put up a poll saying which weapon you guys would like to see next, and the Vector got more than half the votes, so we're doing the Vector today. Unlocked at level 18, the Vector has always had a rocky history, being pretty mild one update and being borderline broken the next. At this point, it still stands in the higher tiers of not just SMGs, but the whole primary class. So let's take a look at what this thing does now. Starting off with, of course, the damage. Now this thing will do 19 damage stock, 20.9 with hollow points equipped, and 17.1, and all that damage will drop off at 40 meters of range. So average SMG damage and good range at 40 meters. You'll get 4 to 6 shot kills depending on the limbs you hit, like most of the other SMGs in this game. It's got a pretty high fire rate at 600 RPM or 10 bullets per second. It's tied with the MP5K and the MP40 for third highest fire rate, and I already covered those other two weapons, so feel free to go check those out when you got the time, after this video of course. Its bullet spread accuracy is 45 at base, 140 per bullet, and it caps at 1100, so decent base bullet spread and bullet spread gain. It works really well with steady aim. And fun fact, back in past updates, the bullet spread was actually pretty strong on this weapon, especially with steady aim. I think it was actually a meta build to run steady aim with the Vector and just hip fire the entire way through. I could be wrong. But anyways, moving on to its ADS speed and its recoil, it's got an ADS speed of 110, which is average SMG ADS speed. Most SMG's ADS speed range from 110 to 120, so pretty much average, you know, pretty much the midpoint. And of course, it's got the lowest recoil in its class of 50 recoil next to the MP5K. So both the Vector and the MP5K have a ridiculously low recoil. Well, not ridiculously low, but it's the lowest recoil out of all the SMGs, basically. As for its ammo count, you're looking at 30 in the clip with 120 in reserve, and if you put on extended clip, you're looking at 45 in the clip with 180 in reserve. So, to be honest, the ammo count leaves a lot to be desired considering its fire rate, so I'd advise you use this extended clip if anything, but it's not the worst fire rate in the world, but again, you'll probably want to run extended clip anyway. And finally, moving on to its reload time, you are looking at a nice crispy 1.32 seconds. So a nice quick reload speed to get you back into the action quickly, unlike the slower reloading weapons like the MP7 and especially the MP40. On to the playstyle now. With this weapon, aggression is key here, like most of the other SMGs, of course. I mean, they're SMGs. You gotta stick to close quarters and everything, so you gotta play aggressive. But like some of the other SMGs like the TAC SMG and the MP7, you can afford to get lenient with your range because you have 40 meters of it. It's not like you have 15 like the Bison. You actually have some room to play around, but you don't have as much as the TAC SMG because the TAC SMG is 45, so it has room to be a little more lenient, but you can still get away with being lenient with your range because you have 40 meters of it. With that said, the range combined with its low recoil actually makes it perform better than several of the other SMGs in this game. The Vector is a good all-rounder with seemingly no weakness. If there is any weakness to watch out for though, it'll definitely be its ammo count. Although the rest of the weapon is solid, you'll quickly find yourself reloading after just 3 seconds of firing. Keep in mind, you've got 30 bullets in each clip, and you shoot 10 bullets per second, so within 3 seconds, you're pretty much dry and you gotta reload again. Usually that isn't a bad thing. 30 in the clip isn't bad, and it doesn't hurt the gun that much, but like I said, the fire rate's pretty high, 10 bullets per second, so it gets eaten up pretty damn fast, right? Despite this weakness, it's good for hit and runs and even good for gunfights, provided you don't get outranged too much. There isn't much to say about the Vector's playstyle that has been said about any other SMG so far in this series, so take what you will with this. Now moving on to its class setup, the Vector works with plenty of stuff actually. Since the iron sights aren't exactly the greatest in my opinion, you might want to run a sight if you got the coins to spare. But first, I suggest getting any of the slot 1 attachments as they're all good with this weapon. So the laser sight, the grip, the muzzle flash, or the silencer will actually work pretty well with this weapon. All 4 of those attachments will actually work with the Vector pretty good. As for perks, you can run hollow points to make it 1 less bullet to get that kill since, you know, it's Pixel Strike, lag is everywhere, and every hit counts in this game, right? So the less you need to get that kill, the less shots it takes to get that 1 kill, the better. Because it's a good hit and runner, lightweight will serve you well too. And extended clip is a great slot 2 perk since the Vector's fire rate is fighting for the 3rd highest, which means it will shot through all 30 of its bullets in mere seconds, so having those extra few bullets will help this thing out by a bit. Now, to give my final opinion on this weapon, the Vector is a very solid weapon with not too many glaring weaknesses. It's not going to hit hard, but like the P90, it doesn't have to hit hard to destroy you if its fire rate is high enough. It's a good hit and runner and also has good range and recoil for an SMG, with its only issue being its ammo to fire rate ratio. Again, the thing has 30 in each clip, and its fire rate is 10 bullets per second, so within 3 seconds, your ammo is gone, and you're gonna have to reload. But other than that, it's a solid pick that can get away with a lot of things. On top of that, there are plenty out there who want to see this weapon nerfed, but like the P90, it's easier said than done as there's a number of factors to consider when adjusting weapon stats. With that said, if you want a solid, cheap SMG that can get the job done really well, the Vector might be the pick for you. But anyways, guys, that'll be it for this episode of Pixel Strike 3D In-Depth. I still have to make that limb multiplier video, so that's going to be coming out soon. I got to make an in-depth on that, because that is actually a major factor in why some of these weapons' time to kill can either be more or less. But that's for another day. If you like the commentary, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, tell a friend and tell another friend, and stay tuned for the next episode of Pixel Strike 3D In-Depth. We've got 2 more SMGs, and then we will have another in-depth versus video. I'll have another poll after my final SMG video, so we can move on to that category of weapons. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. It's Rusher. I'm out of here. Peace.